Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with a review of the Samsung Galaxy S3 for T-Mobile. As one of the most anticipated phone launches of the year, there's a lot riding on this, but is it any good? Also, be sure to stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be doing a giveaway of one of these bad boys here pretty soon. Thumbs up for that? Okay, let's just do the review. To start with, let's go over hardware. The Galaxy S3 is rocking a 4.8-inch Super AMOLED HD screen with a resolution of 1280 by 720. Technical jargon aside, it can be summed up pretty easily. The display is huge and excellent looking. Text is very clear and colors really pop thanks to the 306 pixel per inch screen. The size also gives you tons of room for content, which is a huge plus if you're coming from something smaller such as the iPhone. I still like the screen on the HTC One X more, but at this point I'm basically splitting hairs. Both phones have phenomenal displays. The Galaxy S3 comes in two colors, blue and white. I have the Pebble Blue variant, and there are some differences, including a metal-like textured finish. Up top is the speaker grill, notification LED, proximity and light sensors, along with the 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera. Below, you'll find the physical home button, along with capacitive back and menu keys. For some reason, Samsung likes to put the sleep wake button on the right edge of the phone instead of up top like most other manufacturers. It's certainly not a big deal, but it is something to get used to. On the left side is the volume rocker, and you can also see they've made it look like it has a taper with the accent. The bottom contains your micro USB port as well as microphone. Flip it around back and you'll see the 8 megapixel camera along with LED flash and a speaker. One nice thing about the Galaxy is that you can still remove the rear cover, which is a feature more phones iPhone could include. Here you can also easily get at the battery, micro SIM card, as well as add a micro SD card of up to 64 gigabytes to add more storage to the phone. Overall, I like the design. There are a few odd things, such as the physical home button combined with two capacitive ones and the all-plastic build. That said, being able to replace the battery and having a micro SIM helps a lot. It all reminds me a bit of the first Galaxy S. It's nothing spectacular, but you won't hear any complaints out of me. As far as software goes, there's a ton to cover, so let's jump right on in. The Galaxy S3 currently runs Android 4.0.4, aka Ice Cream Sandwich with the TouchWiz skin. Generally, I'm not a fan of skins for Android, but I've got to say TouchWiz makes a pretty good case for itself, with a ton of unique features. Some a bit silly, but some are generally great. One thing Samsung really is pushing are their new motion features. These allow you to do things like call a contact by bringing the phone up to your ear. You can also mute the phone by flipping it over. The calling a contact is pretty useful, but most of the others aren't as much, as they only work in specific apps instead of system-wide. There are also other interesting features. Smart Stay uses the front-facing camera to monitor your face to see if you're still using the phone and will shut off the display if you aren't. I expected this to be a gimmick, but honestly it works quite well for the most part and didn't cause any noticeable battery drain. Pop-up player is also really cool. If you're watching a video in the default video player, you can press a button and the video will overlay on top of the screen and allow you to do anything you want. Impressively, this only slows down the phone very slightly and can be moved around anywhere on screen you want. Probably the biggest downside is that this doesn't work with any other video playing apps, but it's still a nice feature. You'll also find Samsung's answer to Siri, S-Voice. What's the weather going to be like in Los Angeles tomorrow?
The forecast for tomorrow is mostly sunny.
In general it works, but the voice is pretty grating, and there's no doubt that it just isn't up to the accuracy or level of functionality that Apple's gotten. Jokes, on the other hand, it can definitely handle. Tell me a joke.
Okay, why did the chicken commit suicide? To get to the other side.
The Galaxy S3 also has built-in NFC. You can use this to beam files from Android devices, or pay for things with Google Wallet, but something pretty cool are tactiles. These are little NFC-enabled stickers that when you tap your phone against them, they can launch an app, make a call, or change a setting. It will cost you $15 for a pack of 5, but as you can reprogram them, they're pretty neat. There are many more additions, but overall TouchWiz does a good job of adding functionality to Android without being bloatware. As you can see, the phone is still very responsive, right up there among the best I've ever tested. It's powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 system on a chip, with a dual-core 1.5 GHz processor and Adreno 225 graphics, just like in the US version of the HTC One X. Where it differentiates itself is with a whopping 2 GB of RAM. Apps tend to stay open forever, and everything runs butter smooth. The camera is pretty familiar. It's got the same sensor from the iPhone 4S. Needless to say, it's excellent as far as smartphone cameras go, and it's also backed up by solid software. The camera app is quick and has some cool features including burst shot to take up to 20 pictures in just a couple seconds, as well as being able to snap 6 megapixel stills while recording 1080p video. Alright, so I'm now recording using the front-facing camera on the Galaxy S3. So as you guys can see here, the quality is not half bad, unlike my hair. Anyway, it is a 1.9 megapixel shooter, so of course you can take stills, as well as the 720p video. I know it's definitely nothing amazing. For a front-facing camera, it is not half bad at all. It's going to be more than enough for Skype, for Google Plus chats, and checking your hair out in the mirror. The Galaxy S3 is available on all of the major US carriers, including AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, and US Cellular. I'm taking a look at the T-Mobile version, however they are all identical beyond a few preloaded apps and the respective networks that they support. T-Mobile relies on HSPA+, whereas the rest come with LTE. I'll be taking a look at a Verizon model soon to see how LTE impacts battery life, but with this I was able to get through a day of usage without any issue whatsoever. Speaking of cellular, the Galaxy S3 does a perfectly respectable job. I have poor T-Mobile service in my area, but the S3 was able to hold on to a signal very well, and call quality was really quite good. There's a lot to be said about the Samsung Galaxy S3. Let's start with what I don't like, which is a pretty small list. S-Voice is underwhelming, the build quality is good but nothing spectacular, and I still find Android lacking in a few minor areas compared to iOS. On the other hand, the screen is great, speed is top notch, the battery is good enough, and I found that the camera was absolutely excellent. It may not be perfect, but I can honestly say that the Galaxy S3 has now surpassed the HTC One X as my favorite phone out there. It really is that good. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to leave it a thumbs up, and if you're interested in more videos like this, including a giveaway, definitely be sure to subscribe.